Good morning, first graders. It is a happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Our last Thursday together of first grade, June 4th, 2020. Today is Fantastic Five, number 176. Mrs. Sheppard in room 137. Miss Thompson behind the scenes. Our last Thursday together, if you've not already read my mind, you need to grab your Fantastic Five back. Fruit Looping on a Thursday. You need to grab your Fantastic Five packet or your book, your clean white sheet packet, your pencil, and your highlighter. Ben, Wells, City, Jonathan, Damien, Spencer, Eliza, Lawson, Elijah, Coda, and Mia. Let me hear you shout it out from home. Fantastic Five, and more Fantastic Five. We all love Fantastic Five, especially Mrs. Shep. Now here we go, Thursday. Starting right off with number 1, divide 10 stars into 2 groups. How many stars are in each group? Now, I heard that word divide, which makes me think of my 4 mathematical operations. Give them to me, Spencer. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Opposite of addition, Damien, subtraction. Opposite of subtraction, Eliza, addition. Opposite of multiplication, Lawson, division. Opposite of division, Elijah, multiplication. For number 1, I'm doing division. That's when I know my total and I divide my total, but I have to divide into equal groups. I have to think about fair share. Everybody has to get the same amount. You got it. Number 1 is going to be a clean white sheet problem. Number 2 says find the missing factor. If I hear the word factor, ding, 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 I'm thinking multiplication. 4 mathematical operations, give them to me, City. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. If I'm finding the missing factor, which operation do I know I'm doing, Ben? Multiplication. I'm going to come right here and I'm going to draw my verticals because I know both sides of the equal sign have to balance. Both sides of the equal sign have to balance. That means I have to have the same value on both sides of the equal sign. Now, Jonathan's already noticed on the right of the equal sign, I have a 0, a value of 0. So Jonathan already told me if I have a value of 0 on the right, I'm also going to need a value of 0 on the left. In multiplication, how do I get a value of 0? I'm thinking I-P-O-A. Miss Shep is Fruit Looping again, not I-P-O-A. That's identity property. Any number times 1 equals that same number. Scratch. Let me start that over. I'm wacky on a Thursday. Not Monday and not Wednesday. I'm Fruit Looping on a Thursday. Not the IPOA, but the IPOA addition. Not the IPOM, but the ZPOM. ZPOM. That's the 0 property of multiplication. Any number times 0 always equals 0. Any number times 0 always equals equals 0. So 7 times 0, 0. 10 times 0, 0. 42 times 0, 0. Any number times 0 always equals 0. So, to get a 0 on the left of my equal sign, I have a 2 times a G times a 3 times a 1. What city do I know as a mathematician has to be the value of G? City says it has to be 0 because in order for this side to equal 0, I have to have a factor that is 0. So Sid, you're exactly right. G has a value of 0. And I'm going to write over here, 0 property of multiplication. That's going to be so important in 2nd grade. Any number times 0 always equals 0. Any number times 0 always equals 0. 73 times 0, give it to me from home. 0. Wells times 0. 0. Elijah times 0. 0. Any number times 0 always equals 0. Love it. Now, draw 2 figures to show a turn. We know this goes with geometry. We know I can have a slide, 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 which is also called a translation. I know I can have a flip, or I can have a flip, which is also called a reflection, or I know I can have a turn, which is called a rotation. Now for this one, Mr. Fantastic 5 wants me to draw 2 figures to show a turn. So we're going to do that on a clean white sheet. We're actually going to get one of our pattern blocks. We're going to come over to the math table. I'm going to show you and then let you do that from home. A little tracing easier than drawing. Number 4, write the name of the tool you would use to measure how much water will fill a bowl, how much a container will hold. 5 things we can measure. Everybody, 1st grade, let me hear you. Time, temperature, length, weight, capacity. How much water will fill a bowl? What are we measuring, 1st grade? We're measuring capacity. How much a bowl will hold. Now, would we use to measure capacity, would we use a cup, a scale, or a thermometer? First, what does a cup measure? Yes, it measures capacity. What does a scale measure? Yes, it measures weight, how heavy. What does a thermometer measure? Yes, it measures temperature. So, the tool I would use to measure how much water I need would be a cup. So, I'm going to question mark X, coloring in bubble A, measuring capacity. We're also going to do that one on a clean white sheet. Oh my, you're thinking 3 clean white sheeters, but they're going to be quick today. Now, number 5, look at the dartboard. Which number are you less likely to hit? Now, as I look at that dartboard, I see that dartboard is a circle inside of a rectangle. And that dartboard is, give me that P word. Yes, 1st grade, it is partitioned into how many equal parts, Wells? It's partitioned into 4 equal parts. So what do I call a circle that is partitioned into 4 equal parts, Ben? I say that circle is partitioned into fourths, 4 equal pieces. We did this when we worked on fractions a couple of weeks ago. We took some paper plates. We took some circles and we partitioned them into 4 equal pieces or fourths. Now I look at that dartboard. The 2 numbers I could throw my dart and get, I could get a 4 or I could get an 8. You know my question. What fraction of that dartboard has the number 8? Oh, let's start with 4. Let me backtrack it. What fraction of that dartboard shows the number 4? Give it to me, Jonathan. Remember the number above the fraction bar, numerator, below the fraction bar, denominator. What fraction of that dartboard has the number 4, Jonathan? Jonathan says 1/4. He says, but there are 4 equal pieces. So 1/4 or 1 out of 4 of that dartboard has the number 4. What fraction of that dartboard has the number 8? Give it to me, Damien. Damien says, well, I see 3 8s, but my dartboard is partitioned into 4 equal pieces. So 3/4 of that dartboard shows the number 8. So if you're throwing darts, what are you going to have a better chance of getting, Sid? Sid says, I'm going to have a better chance of getting an 8 because there are more 8s. What are you going to have a less chance to get, Spence? Spence says a 4 because there's only 1 4. So we're going to do our alligator mouth is going to eat the bigger number. I know 1/4 is less than 3/4. So what am I less likely to hit? I'm going to come right there and circle 4. I am less likely going to hit a 4 on that dartboard. Now, we're going to our clean white sheet. We have 3 things to do on our clean white sheet today. So if you're up with me, grab your clean white sheet packet, push your Fantastic 5 packet over to the corner. We have 3 clean white sheet jobs today, but it's not going to take us too long because they're all short. Okay, starting with number 1. Number 1 says, divide 10 stars into 2 groups. We've done this. We've done this, but it's been a while. If I want to take my 10 stars and I want to divide them into 2 groups, what am I going to draw on my paper? Come on, Mimi. Mimi says, draw 2 squares, Miss Shep. We've done this before. She said, and label, draw 2 rectangles, Mimi. I said squares. Label that first rectangle G1, second rectangle G2. That's group 1, group 2. Now my job is to get those 10 stars into those 2 groups. Am I going to put those stars in those rectangles by groups, or am I going to put them in one by one? Remember, when you're dividing, when you're doing division, you have to make equal groups. Everybody has to get the same amount. It has to be a fair share. Come on, Codebug. All at once or one by one? Codebug says one by one. When am I going to stop counting? When I get to what number? 10, because I had 10 stars. Now, I'm not going to draw stars because they take too long. I'm going to draw tallies. So watch me, one by one, until I get to 10. Let me use black. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many tallies are in group 1, Lawson? 5, circle. How many tallies in group 2, Elijah? 5, circle. Give me my equation, Mimi. Think about how many total stars. Mia said, well, you had 10 total stars. Think about how many groups. Mimi said you divided those stars into 2 equal groups. Equals, think about how many are in each group. You got it. Equals variable unknown 5. So 10 stars divided into 2 groups equals 5 stars in each group. And you're not going to believe that, but that's it for that one. That's all I need you to write. I told you that was going to go pretty fast. That's all I need you to write. Now, 2 choices. You may have room here on this same page. If you don't, you can flip over to the back or you can flip to another clean sheet. Your choice. Doesn't matter to Miss Shep. I'm going to go to our next problem. I want to skip down. We're going to do the figures to show a turn last. I want to go to measuring capacity. And I think we've already done this once this week. I can't remember which day. So I'm going to go to a clean new sheet so you'll be able to see. If you have room here, stay here or flip to the back, another clean sheet. And this is going to be my customary units for measuring capacity. You know I have a song for everything. Sing with me from home. Oh, do you know the gallon man, the gallon man, the gallon man? Oh, do you know the gallon man who lives in Gallonville? He taught me to draw the big G, the big G, the big G. He taught me to draw the big G when measuring capacity. I said teaspoon, tablespoon, ounce, gill, cup, pint, quart, gallon. That's what we're going to write. I said teaspoon, tablespoon. How much a container will hold? Tablespoon. Ounce. That's about a gulp. Gill. Gill's a half a cup. It's 4 ounces. Cup. Cup's one of Jonathan's little water bottles. Pint. That's one of Miss Shep's water bottles. About. I didn't leave enough room, guys. Sorry. Quart. That's about 2 of Miss Shep's water bottles. Or at the grocery store, one of those tall, skinny milk containers. And then gallon. That's the big jug of milk Miss Thompson pours from in the lunchroom, or is that big jug of Hawaiian punch we used at the beginning of the year when we made jitter juice. Giving you a catch-up minute. If we were together in class, we probably would take a minute and draw the big G. But since I'm trying not to go too long on my video today, we're going to just write our customary units for measuring capacity. Shout it out. I said teaspoon, tablespoon, ounce, gill, cup, pint, quart, gallon. I said teaspoon, tablespoon, ounce, gill, cup, pint, quart, gallon. One more time. I said teaspoon, tablespoon, ounce, gill, cup, pint, quart, gallon. Now roll, baby, roll. Now roll, baby, roll. Teaspoon, one of those little spoons in your kitchen. Tablespoon, a little bit bigger. Ounce is a gulp. Gill is a half of a cup. Remember, Jonathan's little water bottle at lunch is a cup. Half of that would be a gill. Pint is like one of Miss Shep's water bottles. Quart is like Miss Shep's 2 water bottles. And a gallon is like that big jug of milk or that big jug of Hawaiian punch. Now, if you need an extra minute, pause. If you're good, Miss Shep's going to go over to our math station table to do this last job. You're going to need, this is probably one you're going to do better to watch me first. You're going to need one of your pattern blocks, and we're going to use a trapezoid. If you need an extra minute, pause. Miss Shep's going to keep going. We're going to draw 2 figures to show a turn, and we're going to use a red pattern block trapezoid. So come with me to my math station. I'm going to show you this real quick. This isn't going to take long. And something you're going to need to be able to do in 2nd grade is to trace your pattern blocks. We didn't really do that at Walton Academy because by the time we got to geometry, you were doing your lessons at home. Now I'm simply going to hold with my pointer. We did do some tracing, I'm sorry, for classwork, homework on that geometry sheet. We did, so you're probably already pretty good. These weeks have kind of run together for Miss Shep. So I'm going to trace my red pattern block. I'm going to put in my points that show my vertices. I'm going to count my sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. A trapezoid is a polygon, closed flat figure with straight sides. It's a quadrilateral, 4 sides, 4 angles, 4 vertices. It's also a trapezoid. Now, to show a turn, a slide would be, I would just slide it over. A flip would be, I would flip it. But a turn's just going to be, I'm going to, so I'm going to come over here. I think tracing is a little easier, and it looks a little better than drawing. I'm going to draw my trapezoid. I'm going to put in my points to show my vertices. And then I'm going to label my sides. You did this in geometry. You just did it from home. And I didn't watch you do it. That's, I counted 1, 2, 3, 3. Let me self-correct. Oh, that was a Fruit Loop. Now, I started here with my trapezoid. I shifted here. So I showed I'm going to write turn or rotation. And that's your last Fantastic 5 job. Let me show you this way so you can see a little bit better. That's what you need to have on your clean white sheet, showing a turn or a rotation. I use that trapezoid because it made it really easy to see. Now, when you finish that, if you need a little extra time, you can press pause. If, let's just say, you can't find your pattern blocks, this working from home has been a challenge, you can't find your pattern blocks, just draw your trapezoid without using a pattern block, and that will be a-okay. Now, I'm coming back to the smart board. That's going to be a wrap for our Fantastic 5, number 176, today on our last Thursday of first grade. So you can close your clean white sheet packet. You can push that over to the side. If you are all up with me, that's a wrap for math today. You don't have another math job. Remember your Fantastic Five, temperature, moon is all you need to get done with me today. We did Fantastic Five together, which is the way I like to do it best. You did it with me from home, so that's going to be a wrap for your math on our last Thursday of first grade. I hope you have a terrific Thursday, a great day at home, and I will see you tomorrow for our last day of first grade. Have a great day at home with your families, and thank you for working so hard on your first grade Fantastic Five.